Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I recently seen a video and forgive me, I cannot for the life of me remember who it was. I even went back looking for it and I can't find it anywhere. But they had done, you guys all know the alcohol and mica technique when you're trying to paint on mica powder in like those areas so you don't get mica powder all over the place. Well, this is one with hand sanitizer and mica powder. In theory, it's supposed to, I guess, make it A, not dry out quite so fast, and B, be able to do like a thicker coverage so that you can, as opposed to just painting on like maybe straight lines or in certain areas, actually paint kind of like designs on your molds. So we're going to kind of try it out today. Now, I am going to attempt to kind of sort of but not exactly recreate what I seen on this video. And I have my hand sanitizer now. It's just kind of like an off-brand. It's not the greatest hand sanitizer and it's not super like crazy thick like some of those hand sanitizers are. This is kind of a little bit more liquidy, so that could potentially hinder the results, but I don't know. We'll see. And I'm just going to mix up some of my mica powder. Now, the mica powder I'm using today is the Purple Heart by Rolio, and it's a turquoise by, I don't remember who. It's the first one I've tried of this particular brand. I got it from Michael's the other day, but I'll have it linked in the description box if I can. And I'm just going to kind of see if I can make this work. Now, I tried it once and I didn't quite have it thick enough, and you know how it kind of separates like markers and stuff like that when you try, or acrylic paints when you try to put it on there, how it starts separating. That's what happened. Now I did notice that after I thickened it up some, it did stay a little bit better, but not in all places. And you kind of, as opposed to brushing it on like you would think, you kind of have to dab it on, and then it was staying for the most part pretty well. Now, I was laying it on kind of sort of thick, and I am going to go in with my heat gun because I realized this in another video that I had made, that it kind of sort of helps dry it. Now, it's not going to dry it completely, but it's going to dry the top layer enough that I can work on it without it moving so much. So we're just gonna kind of keep on with this, and I'm going to try to do, and I say try because like I really don't know how this is gonna work. The frog kind of like half and half, like his head part and then the bottom part of his body in a different color. That's what that's what my goal is anyway. So as I kind of continued doing this, now I did split up the purple because I was trying to make it a little bit thicker, and I think I put too much of the hand sanitizer in the one pot, so I'm just kind of taking it out and adding more. I don't want to have to add it to all of it because I don't think I'm going to need this much, and I'm not trying to waste my mica powder. And then I am going to try and get the underside of this as well, and just kind of shove it in and see what happens. That's the goal for today. But if it does work, and if you can kind of sort of do this type of stuff with it, it kind of opens up the for possibilities of a lot of different effects that you can get with your resins, like just in design form on the outside of just like a plain mold like this. So the possibilities, if it works, are pretty limitless. I do think that the heat gun is going to help out exponentially. Now, in the video that I saw, the lady did not use a heat gun, but she also didn't have an exact recipe for like how much hand sanitizer to how much mica either. So I don't know the exact consistency that she was doing either. Now, I did notice that once I went upside down, I was having some kind of like where it was running a little bit, and it kind of started pulling into the eye of the frog. And I did get in there with my heat gun and tried to get it to stop and dry. But at the time, I thought, okay, so it's going to be a big blob. Now, my intention was after I'm finished with this, I'll go in with a Q-tip and just kind of straighten up any areas that maybe I don't necessarily like, or clean up any spots or whatever, whatever. I might have forgotten to do that part, but it's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. Anyway, as I continue on with this, any of you kind of crafty people out there that are making videos that may watch me and you don't know, there is a summer collab coming up with MiniScenesGB. And if you are interested in participating, it is open for everyone, that you can do, whatever it is that your craft is that you do. It does not have to be resin specific. She is doing videos. Now, the theme for this summer is fantasy. So whether that be dragons, fairies, whatever you consider fantasy, that is what she's doing. She is saying, it's one entry per person, unless you are doing the same video in dual languages like Petra does, where she does one in English, one in German. That's fine. Otherwise, it is one video per artist. And you can email her. I will have some more information in the description box of my video for anyone that is interested in that. And it'll just be, a great time for all of us to kind of get together and do our thing and show what we do best, and, put ourselves out there and create just an awesome playlist for people to watch. Again, that is June 7th. She is taking links from the 5th through the 7th of June for your video. And again, all information will be in the description box below if you're interested in participating in that. Okay, back to the video. Now we are on the teal. Now, the teal I did a little bit smarter, and I did it thicker to begin with instead of doing it too runny. But I was still having kind of sort of the same issues with it running in certain spots. And I noticed, because I am going in and I'm kind of doing circles-ish. Like, they're not very circly circles, but kind of, just round spots essentially all over this frog. And I'm not, I don't care if they are like obscured and just not very circly circles. It doesn't matter. Nothing in nature is perfect. So, I don't necessarily want him to have circles, like actual circle spots on him. I just want them to be, I don't know. I just want it to be cool, And we're just going in, and I'm covering every part of this mold that I can cover now. I am doing thin lines, but I do notice that as I do the circle, it's always one part of the circle that the mica powder hand sanitizer mixture kind of starts pulling away and pulling into itself. And I don't understand why, but the teal I did have less problems with than I did the purples. So I think it's just because I made the teal thicker altogether. So I do think that maybe if you have a thicker hand sanitizer, it may work better than what I'm using. And it definitely, 100,000% does slow the drying process. That being said, it makes it easier to apply and stay. And I apologize, I missed the resin. I pushed the record button, but it didn't take, so I don't have me actually pouring the resin. I did use Rolio's deep black mica powder, or not mica powder, pigment paste to color my resin, and I used Let's Resin's epoxy resin for this project today. I do apologize. I let this dry for a good hour and a half. Now here's the thing. This is 24 hours and I'm demolding, and I noticed as soon as I started on the foot to pull it away that I'm getting mica powder on my fingers, and that is not a good sign. Like, not at all. I shouldn't be getting anything on my fingers. It should be all absorbed by the resin, and do you see it? It's everywhere on my mold. So, what I think happened is, judging by, there were two spots, one on his head by his eye and one on his leg, that I had mentioned the part by the eye about it being a thick kind of pool of this mica powder hand sanitizer mixture, and it kind of left like a divot in his head. It's fine. It's fine. I can fix it. But I would recommend that if you decide to try this, which it turned out like, aside from the fact that it didn't all show up and I did have the issue with it not drying completely, I think you should probably let it dry overnight. And that is just to be completely like 100% no issues, because it's those thicker spots that didn't get dried underneath. I guess even in the hour that I let it sit wasn't long enough. So we're going to fix this, and how I'm going to fix it is I am going to use my gloss varnish, and I'm going to take a purple glitter and a teal glitter, and I'm kind of going to go over all of these spots. Now, it's going to kind of connect and bring out the lines, especially on the main body of him down where the teal is kind of missing, and it's going to make it a little bit better. I'll be able to hide the spot on his head and his leg that kind of got wonky and has a divot in it because it was just all the wet mica powder under there. And it'll be fine. I'm just going to put it on super thick. So now, technically, for my mixture, I should have made it thicker with glitter and a little bit pastier, which, again, I learned my lesson by the time I get to the teal, and I fix it then. But I didn't quite do it thick enough with the purple, and I am going to have to go over certain spots more than once. And it is running, which is, again, why I'm using my heat gun to kind of get it to not completely dry, because it's not going to dry that fast, but at least to the point where it's not running anymore. And then I'm just going to let it dry. So I am going over every line, every spot that I put on there with either the purple gloss varnish mixture or the teal gloss varnish mixture. And then I am going to hit it with the heat gun just to kind of like you would like spot cure your UV resin, just to get it enough to the point where it stops flowing, but it's not fully cured yet. It's kind of what I'm doing with this gloss varnish mixture, is like flash curing it essentially, just so it stops moving and then it can do its thing and finish up later on. Now, I like this a lot. I think he turns out really, really, really cute, despite his issues and the bubbles and the whatever, because he's got some air bubbles. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hide those too with this glitter mixture because I can, and why not? There's no point in it staying there. And the main ones were underneath the chin, and that's on me. I should have went under there with a silicone tool or something just to make sure, but I didn't, and that's on me. All in all, the idea has a lot of possibilities. I think my execution of it was a little off, and the fact that I just should have waited a little bit longer to let it cure. But I do think that it has its place, and you could do some really neat stuff with it, some really neat designs and patterns and stuff like that to make your project stand out just a little bit more. And it's something that I definitely want to do again in the future at some point. And, I'll just do it the right way the first go around and not have to do that. But even with the glitter, it gives him something more. I think he's really, really cute. I love him a lot. And I am overall pretty pleased with him. So, yeah, that's a wrap on this one, guys. As I finish up, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I will catch you guys on Thursday and the next one. Love ya. Bye.